Hello, welcome to Bloke on the Range, and it is a live range here, so noise, no apologies. So what I'm going to talk about with this lovely original L39A1 is shooting sling supported with a 2-point sling. Now, you may have noticed that the target variant Lee-Enfields and the P14 sniper rifles, number 4 Mark 1T sniper rifles, they have this extra sling attachment position here, as do all of the target rifle conversions, all the private ones. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about what goes on when you shoot sling supported, why it supports the weight, and what the advantages and disadvantages of various ways of doing it are, and I will show you a way to do it that you've probably never heard of before unless you were shooting in target rifle circles in the UK with people who shoot this or historic rifle. Anyway, so classically, you've got a butt swivel and a mid swivel. Historically, you may have had a mid action swivel and a front swivel, but that's a very minor thing. This is the classic arrangement. You've got all sorts of funky things like the American complicated leather slings, which are actually really very good and can be used as a cuff sling. They were actually issued with the number 4 Mark 1T sniper rifles, but here we've got a Parker Hale 2-inch wide target sling attached in the military fashion, and what I'm going to do is get into a sling supported position with enough tension, and you've got to put enough tension on to support as much of the weight of the rifle as possible. Now, with a modern single point sling, you should, with a proper shooting jacket, be able to get basically all of the weight of the rifle supported on the sling. Single point slings are for another time. With a 2-point in the Hasty sling position, you generally won't. You'll have to put in a little bit of muscle force, but you're aiming to minimize it. So, Hasty sling is very easy. You put your arm through, like that. You bring your wrist round, get it all sorted, get it up your arm, and there we go. We are mostly supported of the weight, but the problem is you've got this sling attachment point down here that has this tendency to twist the rifle clockwise, and you have to counter that with muscle force from your supporting hand to go against it. And the problem is, the more sling tension you put on it will give you a more stable position, but then you've got more and more twist. It is suboptimal. It is not actually that fun. I mean, it's better than nothing. You've seen me use it an awful lot. Compared to a Carl 31 with it coming off the side, it is not that great. So, that is where the mid swivel here comes in. So, put that through there. You can do the same thing. I'm going to have to adjust it. Sometimes it is good if you put a twist in it. Where are we? Let me just loosen that off a touch. Okay, so that's pretty good, and you can actually see that I can support the rifle, I can relax into it. I haven't got a hand stop here. A modern setup with a hand stop is even better because you can just rest your hand into it, and here I'm relying on friction. That's pretty good. Let's actually just take a few shots so you can see how this reacts on recoil. That'll take. No. I've got one click left. They're both in the 4-ring. So that works. That stays up your arm with this big thick sling pretty well, but actually we can do even better. So what I've done this time is I have put a half twist in it, and instead of putting our arm in this way, we put it in the other way, bring it under and up, and by the time I've untangled myself, because I'm well out of practice at this, where are we? There we go. So what we have here is the sling crossed over like that, and this is unsurprisingly called crossover sling. So what you've actually got is the bottom part of the sling that's attached to the action swivel, helping to support and hold up the forward part of the sling. So and this is rock solid and does not twist the rifle. I do need, however, just to loosen it off a touch because it was a bit overly tight. There we go. So, if we put some more ammo into the rifle, so my fingers are just resting, they're not gripping. And crossover is basically as stable as a modern single point sling, but it's a bit more faff to get into and out of. And certainly back in my day, there was a GB target rifle team shooter who still shot with one of these ancient slings crossover. It is quite comfortable. It doesn't pinch anything on the front. It actually leaves the front of your arm free. It's generally, if you're shooting under rules that don't allow you to shoot a single point sling, and the rules allow you to have a middle sling attachment point, it's actually pretty good. And I shot small ball like this for a number of years, partly due to being contrarian and an idiot, but yeah. Anyway, so there we go. General points for shooting with a 2-point sling are you've always got to make sure the tension is the same around both sides of your arm and it doesn't slip down over time. That's basically something you just got to faff around with yourself and just try and adapt the height of your shooting stance, the height of your prone position. You might find that you want to shoot in a lower position than you do freehand. And yeah, there's just a knack to making sure that the tension on both parts of the sling is the same from shot to shot. And in target rifle, I love this when people say you shouldn't look at the target between shots. Well, in target rifle, we'd put the rifle down between shots like that because we'd have ages between shots. And then pick it up, check the sling tension, hand in the right position, butt in the shoulder, close bolt, check wind, unload, rifle down with the hand on top of it. Yeah, I grew up shooting like that, so merely looking away from a semi-auto rifle to look at the box here, or to look through a scope, is nothing when you're putting the rifle down and fully rebuilding your position every time. So, I hope that was at least vaguely interesting, or that it helped with your insomnia. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you to our financial supporters on Patreon and Patreon who keep us ticking along, and see you again sometime. Bye.